Well, I'll begin by saying that I am Carl Kabat's brother. Both of us are priests and both belong to the congregation called Oblates of Mary Immaculate. And with me is my mother, who is the producer of the two of us, obviously, and is also sharing these kind of events, not only the trial that we're participating in here, but also some other activities around the Pentagon and other places.
Well, maybe I could ask you, Mrs. how you feel about your son's activities in terms of this particular.
I support them all the way, and I believe in their dedication to what they're doing, definitely.
Do you feel that what they're doing is particularly a political kind of activity, or?
No, it's not political. It's moral, you might say, something they deeply believe in, because, well, it's not political, definitely not.
Not in the ordinary sense of the word, though obviously it has political effect, just like Jesus had a political effect. He is the most religious person we know, but he was crucified for political reasons. And so our involvement in our ministry, which we would like to describe as a peace ministry, also has political effect. But we're not involved with what might be described as partisan politics, or in the main field of politics. So basically, we are both priests, and we remain priests, and we intend to be involved with religious aspects of life.
What do you feel about the nuclear power issue, which seems to be the central issue?
Well, not nuclear power as much as nuclear arms. Nuclear power is one of the issues that participate in it, but what we're more concerned about is the lack of good stewardship that our world is using in terms of the nuclear industry, and that is the nuclear arms especially, that we have it within our power to destroy ourselves many times on this earth. And I guess where my mother comes in this concern too is as a parent and as a grandparent of 17 children and even 2 great-grandchildren, that she hates to see this world going to ruin for future generations, which we see is happening.
How would you express your concern for your children and future generations as far as?
Well, I would like the world to continue. I wouldn't like it to be blown up. And with the grandchildren I have, I hope that they'd continue on the way it is, and the way things are, it's headed for catastrophe.
Our government is responsive to these kind of perceptions that you have in terms of?
Well, not that I've noticed.
How are we going to wake them up?
That's a good question.
My response to that is that we get the government that we deserve, so to speak. And I don't think of the government as being really responsible for this. It's first of all, it is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And so therefore the people have to be aware of this to begin with, what we're into. And secondly, we have to all become aware that we're all being manipulated by what I call, and what the other calls, special interests. And that focuses namely on big corporations, what are often described as multinational conglomerates, things of that nature. I personally think that these are the biggest problem for us to face, and they are manipulating us in what I call generally the military, industrial, academic, media, and ecclesiastical complex. In other words, we're all being taken for a ride on this merry-go-round that is bringing us, as my mother expressed it, to catastrophe.
What's your feeling about the specific trial?
He's going to be driving the vans now.
Feeling about the likely outcome?
Well, I'd like to first of all point out why the trial is taking place. It was a studied effort on the part of the 8 defendants to try to awaken the world to the situation, and especially our country. And so they were willing to do what they did with a lot of forethought to it. And the effects of this trial, I don't know what they will be. It could very well be that it will come down hard on these people. I'm expecting, somewhat pessimistically, 5 to 10 years for each one in prison, which won't accomplish anything for them or for any of us mankind. Unfortunately, it also won't do anybody else much good either if it doesn't start getting the message across. But I'm expecting it to come down pretty heavy.
What hope do we have for the future then, if this is the likely result of this trial?
I'll let Mom speak to that one first anyway.
Well, I'm hoping that we do have a future. And if mankind doesn't wake up to it, there will not be no future. That's about all I could say.
So I would add to it that this was just a drastic effort, obviously very drastic, when people are willing to give up to 5 or 10 years of their lives to living in prison, which is no fun in any way, sense of the word, that they are willing to give up this on purpose, not for any criminal purpose, not for any personal aggrandizement, but simply for a ministry, for an effort to do some good. 3 of the people involved are in the priesthood. 1 is a nun. 1 is the mother of 6 children. With that kind of awareness of their backgrounds, I don't see how anybody could see it as a criminal act.
I was going to, and the thought left. The train left my mind. The thought of train. thought of train. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was going to say, and knowing my son, Carl, he is a man that loves freedom. He didn't do this, if whatever he's accused of or whatever happened, without giving good, long, hard thought and prayer, I can assure you. And I support him 100%. If I were able to, I'd be right there with him.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Mm-hmm.